The shocking scale of the death and destruction caused by the earthquake in Morocco becomes clearer today. As international rescue teams rush to help, it has been confirmed tonight that more than 2,600 people have been killed, 2,500 injured. Rescuers are using their bare hands to clear rubble that's blocking roads and stopping vital equipment from getting through. The 6.8 magnitude quake struck shortly after 11 p.m. local time on Friday. The epicentre was in the high Atlas Mountains, 44 miles south of Marrakesh. Our correspondent Sangita Lal and her team have been to some of the remote areas almost totally destroyed in the disaster.
In Tikhat, the same families have lived in these homes for generations. Many were buried beneath them and found holding their children.
We are going now to see the graves.
Idris wasn't here when the earthquake hit, but his 12-year-old sister and his mother were. They're now buried in these mass graves. Idris tells me there are about 20 bodies under each mound. He says he'll never forget the moment he found his family under the rubble.
I was digging for them all the night, as you can see. I was digging, but just my hands and my arms. Into the morning, I just see the hand of my sister.
You found them?
I found them, me. Do you know how I feel when I found my sister? She was under the ground. I see just her bag. I can't accept it, you know what I mean? Do you know something like my mom and my sister? Exactly my sister. She was my everything. I can show our videos, me and my sister. I can keep going.
In this village, near the earthquake's epicentre, 240 houses are simply no longer here, belongings scattered across the mountainside. And this is where Akhtaman used to live, with 6 other members of his family. 5 have died. The whole house fell down, and only my sister, mother and father got out, he told me. Across the Atlas Mountains, villages are desperate for aid, but it takes time to navigate through the rubble and reach these rural communities who've lost everything. Well, here in this village in Azgur, just a few miles from the epicentre, you can see all the homes here have been destroyed from the earthquake. They're built mostly from clay bricks and cinder blocks, and no one is able to go back in them. So hundreds of people, families, elderly, children have all had to move out here. Lying under ripped tarpaulin, families are slightly sheltered from the blistering heat, but there is little that can protect those who have seen too much. I need a house where I can live, she tells me, because all the houses in the village have fallen down. Morocco's people are resilient and have rebuilt their country before, but this recovery will be a long one and take more time than many of them have.
Well, Sangita joins us now live from Marrakesh tonight. I mean, such a heartbreaking report, Sangita, particularly looking at the children and the very elderly people. What do these people need and how soon will they get it?
Simply, Mary, they need shelter. Now, I've seen some of the temporary accommodation that's been provided by aid agencies, but the problem is that for those rural communities across the Atlas Mountains where the earthquake happened, it's difficult for teams to reach them. They're traversing along narrow, winding roads, some of them still blocked by rubble. And it means that families living there are going to have to spend another night out in the cold, essentially lying over rocks. But people who I've spoken to today have told me they're just relieved that Morocco's government is accepting aid. And the Interior Ministry here say they're now getting search and rescue focused international aid from Spain, Qatar, Britain and the United Arab Emirates. And this is support that families desperately need: food parcels, water, mattresses, to help them as they try and comprehend what's happened here.